It's been over 5 years since Fortnite first caught everyone's attention with its vision of an adorable multiplayer apocalypse. Fans eagerly awaited a chance to play and waited some more. Well, the wait is over as Fortnite has burst through the reinforced door of development onto the game scene. Hi, I'm Darian P. Mack with the leaderboard, and it's time to get those dragon pistols ready and retractable floor spikes be damned, because we're about to bust into 7 facts about Fortnite. Let's get started. Fortnite had a long and rocky road to release. The game was first hinted at on December 7, 2011 when Epic Games president Mike Camps mentioned working on a radically different new IP to game industry. The team needed a break from their popular Gears series, and this totally different game was their answer. Fortnite was officially announced a few days later at the Spikes VGAs, complete with teaser trailer. In July 2012, Epic announced the game would be the first to utilize their Unreal Engine 4. Then things got quiet. Real quiet. Behind the scenes, Epic Games was going through major transitions. 6 months after Fortnite's 2012 announcement, Chinese internet giant Tencent brought 40% of the company's shares and 2 board seats. In August 2012, Epic bought independent Polish company People Can Fly, who developed Gears of War Judgment to help develop Fortnite. The company became independent again in 2015, but both teams said that it would still help develop Fortnite. After prime members of both sides left to found a new company together, awkward. According to creative director Donald Mustard, this was all part of Epic moving away from games in a box and towards games as a service. Fortnite would be the game that the company pivoted on. It was re-announced at Apple's Worldwide Developer Conference in 2015, where Fortnite was touted as an early adopter of Max Metal Graphic API and set for release that July. Epic Games Publisher Vice President Mike Fisher said, "The fact of the matter is, we announced this game too soon. What I can tell you is that the game has been in development for a long time for a very good reason. Apparently, the reasons included upgrading the game to the Unreal Engine 4 and widening its scope to include different game modes. After positive live demos at E3, the game was slated for release on Mac and PC later that year." Cut to May 2016 when Epic spun the epic delays as part of the excitement, telling Polygon that the development of Fortnite might never be done as the game moves towards a more versatile and easily updatable free-to-play game. Epic was also blunt about getting Paragon out first, with Fortnite taking a backseat, but still moving forward, of course. Fast forward to June 2017 when the company announced that it would finally, actually this time, have the game ready for early release on July 24, 2017 as a beta version for $39.99. If you couldn't wait, there was the far more expensive limited edition, the Founders Pack, for $125 that would let you access the game on July 21st. If you're waiting for the final as it gets free-to-play version, you're stuck waiting for some still unspecified 2018 date. Know your enemy. Early on, Fortnite was intended to be a far more realistic, frightening game along the lines of Left 4 Dead or DayZ, and the game's monsters were designed to match with a ghoulish, rotting look. The developers found that too depressing, and so turned to Saturday morning cartoons and Looney Tunes as inspiration. As the game evolved from Cormac McCarthy, the road-style survival struggle, to a goofier, team-based effort to build childhood dream forts, the monsters had to change as well. They became more cartoonish, though there's still a creep factor remaining. Monsters generate out of lightning flashes from the storm as abstract menaces that grow in strength with each level and could be considered the game's big bad. The most common monsters, Basic Husk, wear their formerly human skin like hoodies. Keeping with the increased silliness, other husks include pitchers. These are husks dressed in baseball outfits who throw flaming bone. Lobbers, a sort of lady husk who shriek and hurl flaming skulls at you, and husk with beehives stuck on their head. I mean, why not? The Husk origin story and what they actually are remain vague, though the developers promise their lore will be explored in future updates. Design director Cliff Bleszinski described Fortnite's trolls as a manifestation of everything on the internet that I hate. While I've seen posts where a troll has stolen material, as Fortnites do, I haven't seen any pass through walls. Yet. There's also Smashers, which do pretty much what they sound like. Right now, the monsters have a fairly uniform look and feel, but new and wildly different monsters aren't completely out of the question. Game designers have mused in interviews about the possibility of oddball, out-of-place enemies just for kicks, which seems to be one of the perks of an infinite rollout. Holding out for a hero. There's currently 4 hero classes in the game: Soldier, Constructor, Ninja, and Outlander. Every class has 10 subclasses, each with their own perks and abilities. Soldiers are the first line of defense defense, as they are ranged weapons masters who provide the bulk of firepower, boost teammates with buffs, and weaken enemies with debuffs. They'll appeal most to fans of first-person shooters and are the most generally well-rounded of the 4 classes. Like the name implies, constructors specialize in building forts quickly and efficiently. If you're a fan of Minecraft, this is the class for you. Their base skill allows for less cost in building forts and a lot more damage done to enemies attacking it. By the way, it stands for Basic Automated Sentient Edifice, not Big Ass Shield Emitter, as some posters have suggested. They also have crowd control abilities and can take more damage than other classes. Unfortunately, they're also the slowest of the 4. Outlanders are the game's hunter-gatherers, with speed to dodge enemies and focus, the ability to spot resources to harvest. They can deploy special gadgets to thwart enemies and are great terrain scouts. Their main downside is that they feel less helpful inside the fort than out, as many of their skills are only useful while exploring. Ninjas combine the mobility of Outlanders and the combat prowess of soldiers. Their fighting specialty isn't ranged weapons, but close melee battle with pointy objects like scythes and swords. Would you expect anything less of a ninja? They're the most agile and can even double jump, which is something they sorely need in order to survive, since their health and shields are the weakest of the lot. Even before the game's official release, Epic developers said new classes would be added, though they haven't specified what kind. And don't discount Huskelmancers to control your undead foes. There are also plans for customized outfits, tweaks to the different subclass abilities, and flashier weapons. Gameplay. Player progress is represented at their home base, an area that grows and changes as they gain campaign rewards and resources. You can visit in between or during missions. There are currently 4 map locations, each with an increasingly higher recommended power level to play. Starting with Stonewood, you'll move on to Plankerton, then Canny Valley, a play on Uncanny Valley, the mental area of revulsion at things almost but not quite human, and the most recent location, Twin Peaks. There's no word if the lodge is one of their buildings. Each location has an outpost you'll expand to unlock new missions, and once all an area's quests are completed, it's on to the next one. Levels are randomly generated, and instead of a linear storyline, there's quests, missions, and tasks. Quests are a series of goals and can span multiple missions. Tasks are goals within missions that offer rewards and don't end the particular mission. Some missions are time limited, like Ride the Lightning, where you have to collect blue power bubbles called Blue Glow and deliver them to a van. Others, like Fight the Storm, are unrestricted. They give you all the time you need to build a fort, deploy Atlas, a beacon that basically tells the monsters to come in and get it, and defend from waves of baddies. Comedy and jokes. Gnome Thyself. Garden gnomes abound in Fortnite. So far, fans have uncovered a secret achievement for destroying 100 gnomes, and you only get one shot at finding the ones hidden in the opening tutorial. There's one hidden behind a waterfall in the underground cave where you first encounter Husk, 2 others riding cows near a cliff, and 1 in the adjacent graves. There's plenty of puns in the quest names. Music references abound, including Van or Astrovan, named after the band Man or Astroman. Ride the Lightning, named after Metallica's Sick album, Before and After Science, taken from Brian Eno's album of the same name. Movie nerds will appreciate What's in the Box, a devastating line from Fincher 7. Slay Misty's for Me, from Clint Eastwood's radio DJ thriller, yes, a real film, Play Misty for Me. And there's even a nod to cult favorite MST3K with Keep Circulating the Tapes, the show's coda as a mission name. Fan gripes. The game had only been out for a few weeks and already had to issue an apology. On August 4, 2017, Epic Games had to apologize for wiping out players' home bases during a patch for the early access game. The base demolition wasn't announced, and fans were initially ticked off. Fortunately, Epic Games issued a quick and earnest apology, saying that they were tweaking higher difficulty balance in the game. As a result, some maps had to change, and that meant wiping the bases. Fans were more willing to forgive when they heard it was towards better gameplay and base building, and it probably didn't hurt that Epic refunded all lost materials. Early birds have also requested game tweaks like easier and faster demolition out of combat and better map interfacing. While the game's building elements have received raves, several reviews have criticized the mission's repetitiveness. Some complain that harvesting materials feels too much like grinding. The game also requires a serious learning curve. Despite the colorful kitty aesthetic, there's a complex series of menus and abilities that take a while to pick up before play becomes intuitive, and I can speak to that from personal experience. Then there's the touchy issue of free-to-play. As a truly free-to-play version, it's still in the works. Those who paid for packs have noted the icky key element of loot dominating gameplay, with some people worried that the game efforts could easily be undermined if the results could be purchased with hard cash instead of time and teamwork. Future Fort. Right now, the game is available as a pack purchase and has sold over 500,000 pre-order copies as of July 26, 2017, just a day after its release. Considering the planned shift to free-to-play in 2018, it's no surprise that the developers considered more live events a core feature of the game's future. There's a horde mode called Operation Block Party in the works right now, and other new features as a possibility down the road as well. Tweaks and updates will happen, some on a schedule, some spring as surprises. But with all the hype surrounding the game, Epic, you better get crafting yourself. There you have it. Once again, I'm Darian P. Mack, and thanks for watching 7 Facts About Fortnite. Have you experienced the early release? Did we miss anything? Comment down below and let us know. Don't forget to click the bell icon to become part of the notification squad. And if you like getting more out of your game, subscribe to the Leaderboard, your home for video game facts.